Let's go to our panel tonight. Radio talk show host Stephanie Miller is with us in the House here in New York. Democratic strategist Todd Webster on our panel tonight, and distinguished fellow at the Heritage Foundation and former Republican Congressman Ernest Ista. All right, Stephanie, we just have so much material. There's a new Michelle Bachmann on the airwaves. It's Miss Cheney. Can she be effective with this group?
Just as crazy as Bachmann and just as evil as Dick Cheney. Just what we were waiting for in American politics. Yeah, she's just like Dick, but with none of the charm, none of the cuddly warmth. This is really, I mean, Bill Kristol said, well, you know, the good guys need a little help too. You know, there's all these left-wing organizations. I'm sorry, you're referring to the torturers and the people that unnecessarily invaded a country and killed hundreds of thousands of people based on a pack of lies? Those are the good guys.
Is she electable? She can communicate.
Wow. One can only hope that she and Sarah Palin are all they've got.
Todd Webster, what is the strategy, what should be the strategy to combat groups like this that are targeting the president and pulling out the old card that Democrats can't keep the country safe?
Well, based on that ad, my first reaction is to ignore them. I mean, you know, the first cardinal rule in politics is to have credibility, and Liz Cheney, frankly, has very little. By accident of her birthright, her name is Liz Cheney, not Liz Vincent, sort of like George W. Bush, and she would not have a public profile if not for her father. On the merits of the policy, I mean, President Obama has approved sending another 30,000 troops to Afghanistan. By the yardstick by which the previous administration asked to be measured, have we been attacked again? The answer is no, and he has been keeping us safe. But let's look at what this really is. It's a fundraising platform to keep alive the Cheney legacy of torture and defense contracting by engaging in partisan fear-mongering, and that's all that it really is.
Ernest, what about all that? Why the fear-mongering, and how do we know we're less safe? Heck, it's been 10 months. What kind of policies have been implemented to make us less safe?
I hear people talking about personalities. I don't hear them talking about policies. And let's remember, too,
well, I'm asking you about policy. I'm asking about policy. What is President Obama doing? Okay, what's he doing?
That's a good question. Yeah. What is he doing? But remember, the third person of this particular organization, Deborah, I believe it's Burlingame, whose brother was the pilot of the plane that terrorists hijacked and flew into the Pentagon. So let's remember that person is involved also in this organization.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? She's no more important than anybody else on the face of the earth. I mean, I'm flying commercial airplanes all the time.
You're the one that was bringing personalities.
Well, wait a minute. Where's the substance here, though, Ernest?
Let's get into it.
What is the president doing that's making us less safe? What is the basis of the commercial?
He's telling us we don't need to worry about al-Qaeda because they're too weak, and we don't need to worry about the Taliban because they're too strong to go after. So who is it that the president thinks that we're supposed to be combating in Afghanistan? That's where the terrorists were trained that flew the airplanes into the buildings on 9/11.
That's not where they still
have sanctuary there and with the Pakistan border.
They are not in Afghanistan right now. They are in Pakistan, and the debate is...
And they move back and forth, Ed.
Oh, back and forth. Oh, okay.
If you know exactly where they are, tell us. We'll go get them.
Yeah, well, we knew at Tora Bora, you know that story, and you didn't go after them. What about this, Stephanie?
I mean, even the President, General Jones, has said there are less than 100 al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. So, you know, George Bush, apparently the good-on-security guy, is the one that let Osama bin Laden go at Tora Bora.
Okay, Todd Webster, how important is this decision going to be politically for the president when you're talking about committing more bodies and manpower and treasure over to Afghanistan?
Well, I think that's clearly the cradle of instability. Those are the folks that attacked us. I think he is right to review it carefully, to invite members of both parties, because there needs to be a political consensus and the public consensus to continue with this war that's cost hundreds of billions of dollars and thousands of lives, unfortunately. So I think he wants to get the policy right, get the strategy right, and then he'll make his decision. But unlike the previous administration, he's going to go in with a real plan and a real strategy that's going to be thoroughly thought out, and I think that's much to his credit.
Okay.
Well, he said when he ran for president he had a plan and the strategy. He said in March he had a plan and the strategy. Now he's saying, time out, I need time to think up one.
Well, how many times did Bush do that, Ernest? Come on now. I mean, is the guy not allowed to make any decisions at all?
Of course he is.
I mean, he is adjusting. He's listening.
Not wait.
He is listening to his advisors. He's listening to his generals. He's doing all this. This is not an iron fist decision here. I mean, the guy's been president for 10 months, and you're expecting miracles in Afghanistan.
No, I'm expecting that he meant what he said last August when he was running for president, that he meant what he said in March, but now when he watched the public opinion polls that are moving against Afghanistan,
and
now he's thinking against.
What kind of world are we living in when the guy that has reignited international diplomacy around the world and won the Nobel Peace Prize is the radical, and the guys that tortured and started an unnecessary war? Those are the.
And we will leave it at that. Panel, hang around. Thanks so much. We got more coming up.